I quit my job after finding an envelope with my name on it. Just changed everything. I've worked at the same accounting firm for 8 years, not my dream job, but decent pay, good benefits. My boss, Richard, has always been demanding but fair. At least that's what I thought. Our office layout is standard corporate minus cubicles for us worker bees, glass offices along the perimeter for management. Richard's corner office has always been off limits unless you are specifically invited. Yesterday, I was asked to drop off some urgent tax documents while Richard was at lunch. His assistant gave me his key, told me to leave everything on his desk and not to touch anything else. I am not nosy by nature. I dropped the files exactly where I was supposed to, but as I turned to leave, I knocked over a stack of folders. As I was picking them up, I noticed a manila envelope with my name handwritten on it. My first thought was that it contained my performance review. We were due for annual evaluations next week, and Richard often prepared them in advance. I hesitated. I knew I shouldn't look, but there was my name, Sarah Mitchell, in bold black letters. I opened it. Inside wasn't a performance review. It was a detailed exit strategy for firing me. Sarah Mitchell termination plan was typed across the top. Below was a timeline spanning the next 3 months, outlining how to gradually reduce my responsibilities, document minor infractions, and build a case for letting me go with minimal risk of legal action. The final page contained notes about my personal life that Richard had apparently gathered from casual conversations. Mortgage refinance last year, significant monthly payment. Mother's medical bills, likely primary financial support, no substantial emergency savings based on 401k loan taken in 2022. He'd mapped out exactly how financially devastating losing this job would be for me, and was using it to calculate exactly how poorly they could treat me before I'd quit versus having to be fired. There was a post-in note attached to the last page. Once responsibilities are insured to Melissa, schedule final meeting for Friday before Labor Day weekend, gives us 3 days before she returned to collect belongings. I took photos of every page, put everything back exactly as I found it, and walked out of his office. I spent the rest of the day in a fog, smiling at coworkers, even at Richard when he returned from lunch. I stayed until 6 p.m. finishing up my current project. Then I went home and updated my resume. By midnight, I'd applied to 15 jobs. By morning, I had 3 interview requests. I went into work today like nothing had changed. I backed up my personal files, collected the family photos from my desk, and quietly removed all traces of myself from my computer. At 11:30, I walked into Richard's office. He looked up annoyed at the interruption. "I am leaving," I said, placing my keycard on his desk. "Today is my last day." His face went through a series of expressions minus confusion, then irritation, then alarm, when he realized this wasn't part of his carefully orchestrated plan. "You can't just quit. We have a 2-week notice policy. What about the Harmon account? What about the transition documents?" I smiled. "I guess you should have started transitioning my responsibilities to Melissa sooner." His face went pale. I turned to leave, then paused at the door. "By the way, I refinanced again 3 months ago. Lower payment, and mom's cancer has been in remission for a year, but thanks for your concern." I walked out past my stunned coworkers head high. My phone buzzed with a text as I reached my car. An interview scheduled for tomorrow morning. I don't know what's next, but for the first time in years, I feel like I am the one with the plan.